gosh, well, don't look too close, thank you.
It's a thrill and so exciting to see you in a part like this. How did
so am I.
how did it come to you? How did you find it?
I was sent the script and opened it up and thought, well, who do they want me to play? I'm very bad about reading the letters that come with things. I always open the script right away and say, but I thought, one of the bridge ladies. So I was amazed and thrilled. It was all there. It was this young man, Brett. We're still all trying to figure out how he could tap into this 70-year-old woman, and that whole life experience at that age. He and Mark Batch, who wrote it, weren't even 30, I think, when they wrote it. And then when I found it was me that he wanted, I was found it daunting to think that it would be a 18-day shoot, and that I was in every scene. I thought, I can't possibly. But I think it's actually the chops that I've acquired on stage that gave me the strength, because it's a whole other kind of instrument on stage, and the strength of having. I was in the middle of doing a play with Sarah Jessica Parker when that came in, playing Mrs. Madoff, a Mrs. Madoff type, and then right after that, this very three-dimensional, good, multifaceted woman. But I never get to do that on film, so that's why this was such a gift.
Stage thing. I'm from theater myself, so I respect that. Being that you're in theater, do you feel that translates well for film as opposed to going from film to theater? As far as your stamina and your memory.
Most actors I know, the ones I have great respect for have started in theater, so they have that in their instruments there. It's easier, I think, to go to film, although I've never ever felt comfortable in film until later in my life. I always found it intimidating to have the camera right there. You have so much more physical freedom on stage, too. But and this was just such a wonderful experience. I just have never been in anything that ran so smoothly from
You were so
beginning
believable.
to end.
So believable.
Well, thank you.
I took the ride with you.
Oh, thank you. I think it was just all on the page, so I don't think any of us had to fester up. Had to really work terribly, terribly hard. It was there to just absorb.
Well, how much did you go through all that feelings? Because it's sitting in the audience, I've got.
Yeah, well, that's what I found so amazing. Whenever I've had to, play emotional things, usually I have to go in the corner and work it up and work up to it. And but as I say, it was just so purely and simply on that page. And of course, being as old as I am and having gone through a lot of different losses, it was easier to access.
Your character is like constantly with a wine glass.
Yes.
I don't even like white wine.
Yeah, really.
Well, what's your drink of choice?
Oh gosh, well I like red wine and Cosmo every so often.
As you were supposedly chronologically getting progressively a little bit more intoxicated, did that have to factor into how you delivered your speech and how you moved around, or was it just, or were you directed differently?
No, it's funny. I don't even remember Brett saying she's, a little rocky here or inebriated. It was, and I don't even know. I don't even remember actually playing it. I think I'm just naturally ditzy. I hate to admit, but I am.
What was it, apple juice?
I've got, my children will sometimes say, "Mom, not there. Come over here."
Yeah.
I'm just always a little bit.
I
love rocky on my feet. Honestly, I am.
Got a big laugh at the screen.
But I love your character on this, because a lot of our friends are going through things like this, and you have your routines, but at the same time, what breaks that routines is usually a loss, and then how you adapt to that. So when you read that, what were your thoughts?
Well, I thought this is going to be not difficult to access, because I've gone through it, and I think maybe it's just taken that many years for me to get more life experience under my belt to be able to play a good role like this on film.
Blythe, they just showed 1776 at the Turner Classic Festival, which I love. Is this the first time you've sung on film since then?
Oh, on film, I think on film, yeah. On stage I've done a few musicals, follies.
How nervous were you about the singing in this?
Well, again, I don't know. It almost didn't seem like we were making a movie. It was just, it just felt like it was rolling out a life experience every day. It was a very odd sensation and a wonderful one.
What did they give you to react to when you're supposedly looking at the rat? Because I'm sure that wasn't shot.
The rat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Brett was really accommodating. He was so wonderful. I mean, almost everything we needed to do or pretend I remember playing, what was the movie I did where I had to look at a green ball and pretend it was somebody else?
Right.
But no, the rat was there.
Oh.
But I think maybe there were a couple times when I had to pretend the rat was there. Yeah.
When you first saw Sam Ellen, what was your initial reaction? Because obviously you guys never worked together before.
Well, whenever I hear Sam Elliott on the radio, I sort of stop and go listen. It was so sexy. And it was so warm and lovely and open, and I was a little nervous because we had kisses and gotten to bed and all of that, but it was so well shot and it wasn't uncomfortable ultimately. He made it very easy.
Do you
Big
get
white mustache. I was intimidated by that at first, but it was perfectly lovely.
Do you get flirted with? Do you get do you get your share of pickup lines now?
No. No. I guess I'm just too old. I don't know. I find most of the people that I see have relationships are usually with people they've gone to school with, or couples who used to play together bridge or something, and they sometimes get together. No, I'm nobody, and I shouldn't say that because I really don't want anybody to seek me out anymore. I'm very happy in my life. I've got grandchildren, and I've been working, and it's 13 years on my own. And I'm like Carol, I feel very independent.
Speaking on your experiences, the shopping scene, how much research did you have to do in order to portray that moment?
Shopping.
Oh,
In the film, when you went shopping, the binge shopping, the munchies,
Oh, you're talking about
in the film,
smoking.
the munchies, smoking.
Oh, the
and
munchies. Oh, no, I said, I've tried, in my youth, I've tried it out a couple times, and it made me so antisocial that everybody else would be laughing and carrying on, and I'd be in the corner, grumpy, frowning. So I lost all appeal for me. But I really just wanted those women to take that. I said,
That was a great scene.
I'm in every scene, just take it, girls. I'll stand back here and laugh and watch you and laugh.
Isn't it great to see a movie like this come out?
It's incredible to me to see a movie like this because they're so far and few between, right? And to be a part of it is just great joy. It really is. I can't get over the good luck. I mean, Sundance was exceptional because, it honors independent film so wholeheartedly, and it was a role of an older woman, and I think we don't want to get carried away. That was such a over-the-top experience, standing ovations and all of that. I said, look, kids, we can't expect that. This is Sundance after all.
Yeah, but it feels good.
But it feels good, yeah. You just I'm a realist, you just have to.
What's your takeaway from this film for yourself?
For myself, I said it's put a real upbeat skip in my step. What was I saying to somebody the other day? It feels very good to be acknowledged in a way I haven't been before. And one of the things about growing older is there are no expectations. So when something like this kind of falls from the sky, you just appreciate it more than appreciate it now more than I ever would have. And I don't expect any more roles like this to come along, but I'm very, very grateful for this. You don't know. But again, no expectations, just enjoying, reveling in the moment of a very good experience.
For me, it's like a taste of honey. I see this wonderful film and you in this lead role, and I want more, and I almost start to feel anger, like there needs to be more films with these amazing actors. But
well, I said to Brett, please write us a sequel. Everybody, one of the girls said, yeah, it's on the sail. They go sailing off to where are we going? Alaska or somewhere?
yeah,
Iceland.
Iceland. That'd be nice.
talking all day, my brain is going. But, yeah, and we, none of us had worked together before, but there was a simpatico, there was a real good chemistry, I think. But
Totally
anyway,
believable as friends.
When you say no expectations, do you mean about parts or about everything?
About everything, I think. You know, it's probably one of the negative things about getting older too. Unless you roust yourself out and make an effort, you can get too complacent and sedentary. So I'm grateful for the work, which keeps me from getting there too much. But I'd much rather, you know, be home and watching TV sometimes than out on a blind date, say. Which is not.
Speaking of that, the speed dating scene was hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
When the moderator's like, you know, is everyone excited? And you're like, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
They were kind of laugh at the screening room. But tell me about filming that scene.
It was very, very funny. I just those men were terrific. I was sorry that they had to cut around them because there were some hilarious. Well, he took of course, what he could take and the best of it, but there were still lots of very funny things that had to go on the cutting room floor. But Brett's also, I wanted to mention that his talent, I think, was really cutting this to the bone. He cut out any extraneous, any of the fat was removed, which is why I also think people are moved by it, because it's not sentimental. It's not. It could have been very schmaltzy, you know. And he just got rid of all of that.
Did you shoot any scenes that weren't in there that you winced a little bit?
There were a couple things. No, I can honestly say there wasn't one where I thought, oh, I wish he hadn't cut that. I could understand every omission. You know, it makes complete sense and made it much more powerful, I think.
What was your initial meeting like between the two? Because I'm sure you were feeling him out too, this younger
Yeah.
guy. What was that
When I came
like?
backstage, I had just done, I think, 2 shows that day, and I was feeling very Carol-like, kind of snarky. Yeah, kid, what do you got? Prove to me. You're, you know, going to do this good job on this film. No, he was just so, and have you seen Brett yet?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so enthusiastic. He just ignites anybody within, you know, a few feet of him with his enthusiasm. And but I still was wary because I thought, on this set, when you have to do these right back to back to back difficult scenes, some of them, is he going to talk a lot? And you know, and because he's the writer, it's very hard for writers, I think, to let go of their material. And that's why I was surprised that he cut so much in the editing. But he just had the best. He just knew when to come in and when to step back, and when to come in and, you know, give a very gentle hand.
That shows a great leader, because when you can delegate and step back and let the work do itself, that's
especially with
amazing.
that age, and especially when it's your
Let
baby.
the players,
Yeah.
they're doing,
You know, if you're in theater, you know how hard it is for. And I always feel bad for the writers on movies, because they really almost have no say in what gets cut. So the fact that he wrote it and directed it and still had a really good, strong eye that didn't, you know.
I talked to your son last year about The Young Ones, which I really liked.
Yes.
Any thoughts of working with him as a
Oh,
director?
I'm so proud of him. He just got 4 stars from The Guardian in London, who said it was the best of his genre since Mad Max.
Wow.
And called it a masterwork. So did the Huffington Post. It was a
Yeah,
masterpiece.
such an interesting
The New York
film.
Times gave it a great review. I feel really good too, because it's about what we're facing now here. It's
Totally.
about the future and water wars. It's called Young Ones. They're calling it something else in England, but
Oh.
here it's called just Young Ones, with wonderful Michael Shannon. Elle Fanning was wonderful, Nicholas Hoult.
Great cast.
Good
Any
film.
thoughts of working with him?
Well, he wrote something for me years ago, but it didn't come
Mm.
together. But I would love nothing more of a family effort. Get my daughter and him and the grandkids. We'll get the whole gang in there.
What would you say to get the audience to come out and see this? Because I think it's important that they come out opening weekend, and unlike the 3rd or the 5th weekend where they would
Yeah.
normally come out.
Well, you tell them what you think. And I think one of the things that really has delighted me is that so many young people have really responded to it. And they said for instance, the man at Sundance who chose it, or was on the choosing committee, said, I really didn't want to see this film. I thought, oh, a film about old people. And he was just so surprised and smitten and chose it then to come to the festival. I think, you know, that it's a good life lesson for young people too, what to expect it, and not to, and to continue without fear, you know, towards the end of your life, not to be fearful, to open.
One more question.
Open.
Does your family come and watch your movies and go
Well,
to your
they're-
plays?
They'll
And
be, yes, they do, to all of them. They're coming. My daughter will be there tomorrow night. My son will see it in New York. He's there. We're all, you know, we're always sort of split down the middle. One coast to the other.
and are you good at taking compliments, or
No.
are they?
I'm very bad. What? I don't know. It's terrible. It's in my DNA. A very funny thing happened. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but my father in the Depression, you know, it's really not anything you want to record, but he auditioned for Radio City Music Hall for the MC during the Depression. He was a young banker in Philadelphia. And he got it. And he went back to the boarding house where he was staying and said, "Oh, everybody's better than me, I'm going home." And he got the job.
Oh no.
Isn't that perverse? So I'm afraid I have some of that in me too. Luckily, I didn't walk away from this.
Well, you're exquisite in this film, so
Thank
hear
you
that.
very much.
Excellent job.
Your
Yes,
episode of
yes.
The Slap was fantastic.
Thank you.
Really, really good.
Thank you.